cooking French. And the reason why we're cooking French is because this dish has 3 of my most favorite 4 things in the world in it. Steak, alcohol, and fire! And the 4th one, if you do the dish right, you'll get that after dinner. Now, if you want a primo piece of tail, you need to start with a primo piece of meat. Filet mignon. The ultimate steak. The rest of it's academic. Cream, butter, olive oil, salt, pepper, and bourbon. Oh yeah. And a cast iron pan. Because I can't think of anything I'd rather cook with than a big old chunk of heavy freaking metal! Now, in order to get the steak ready, you need to start with the pepper. Yeah, you could get some of that cheap pepper that they sell down at the grocery store that's older than your mother's wedding dress, except the dress probably tastes better. Or, you could start with some nice fresh peppercorns. Cover them with a washcloth. Crap out of them! Yeah. Much nicer. They look better, they taste better, they smell better too. Now, just get some salt. Go ahead, get that meat right in there. Coat it on both sides. Now we're ready to cook. First thing you want to do is get your pan good and hot. As you can see, this one's already smoking. Add a little bit of oil. And the butter. You're going to want to let that melt and whisk it around. Mix the oil with the butter so the butter doesn't burn. Once the butter's melted, in goes the steak. You're going to be tempted to turn this over. Don't touch it. The only way you're going to get a nice crust on the outside is if you let that start to crawl up. See that? Just started to crawl up the side. About 2 minutes, time to turn it over. That is the only way that you can get that beautiful color. Lather, rinse, repeat. Second side just about done. Now we're going to hit the edges. Not going to try and crust them like that because you burn the hell out of the meat in the process. Just going to get a nice brown from all that brown butter. Yeah. That looks sexy all by itself. Now that we're good and done, get the steak out of the pan. Get your bourbon ready. Flame on! Oh yeah! Now that's cooked down. Get that puppy back on the stove. And heat, we're going to reduce it to low. Now that all the alcohol's burned out, shame to waste a perfectly good bourbon like that, right? Not quite. Add the cream. And we're gonna whisk this in. Oh yeah. Make sure you're scrubbing that pan with that whisk. Get all that good stuff off the bottom that we got left behind by the meat. Once you get that thoroughly incorporated, let it simmer and reduce for about a minute. And we go ahead and pour that over that steak. And that is just perfection.
Meat is murder. 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 Oh.
Best part about cast iron makes short work of protesters and food critics. I'm Metal Chef. We'll see you next time.